right. Hey everyone, we're here with our second video blog, I guess we're calling this. Yeah, recap. We had another guest on today. We did two yesterday and one today. And Melissa Ledger. And she talked about her book is called The
Gumball Love.
Gumball Love.
And her concept is called the Gumball Love concept, which is pretty cool to hear about.
Yeah, so it was. She heard someone. It was a lawyer said this to a couple that was fighting, and he said, it's like she's putting in a quarter every time, and you're giving them gumballs. The analogy is that in a relationship, you can't always one person putting stuff in and the other taking it out. Yeah, that was right.
Yeah, you can't always continue to just give in a relationship without filling up the bank. So putting more gumballs in. Yeah. But with her concept, she uses the analogy also as gumball as a representative of guys and their behavior, and the guys that you want to stay away from, she calls them gumball guys. And
don't be a gumball guy.
Don't be a gumball.
Don't stay with one.
Exactly. It was a great episode. You really have to listen to her explain it thoroughly because there's a lot that goes into it, and it really, I think, would be very helpful for women out there who may find themselves in the same scenario over and over again, finding themselves with these guys that, don't communicate well, they don't have good relationships with their families.
Very surface level. They're looking. She used the example like a player or someone that is a pickup artist, but past that, they're just trying to pick you up, and there's nothing really past that. And it was kind of funny. She said, we asked how you can recognize this, and she's like, well, I use the test of like at a family party, you take. And this could be for girls too, but I think guys are generally the ones that
going to family
functions. Yeah, but I'm saying that are like gumball.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be in a relationship with this kind of personality, and I feel like men may fit this more so than women. That they're very surface level. They're fun. They're charming.
Charismatic.
Maybe in the beginning of a relationship, but when it gets down to it and you take them to a family function, and this is where she used, like, is this guy going to dread going to the function? And then if you drag them there, are you going to have to, she used a personal example, Melissa, and said, I had to babysit and worry about who's he going to talk to. And, I can set him up to talk to this uncle and they could talk about golf and, just to plan everything where, if you're in a healthy relationship, you should be able to take your significant other. They should want to meet your family, and then you shouldn't have to, worry about them being entertained. Now, look, everyone's not going to be like the life of the party and like easily talking to your grandpa, but it's not really about that. It's about wanting to and wanting.
Trying.
Yeah, and trying. I think that's the key. Yeah. And but she was like, the same example, when things get tough in a relationship and maybe there's a funeral to go to and you have to drag them there. And I look on a funny note that it's like if you have to drag your partner to a funeral, then there's not a more clear sign that that's not the right person. I'm just picturing if either of us or, just like, I laugh because we wouldn't even think, like, it's just like, you just do that. But she was like kind of speaking, not maybe from personal experience, but of people she's worked with or like real instances that's become an issue. So if you're watching this or if you listen to the podcast, yeah, like that's because the overall theme was finding Mr. Right.
Right.
And it's definitely not Mr. Right.
Is he Mr. Right or is he Mr. Wrong?
Yeah, he's Mr. Wrong if you gotta beg him to go to
a
funeral.
She used other examples of just, is he ignoring you? Is he not responding to your your calls or your text messages and like, hello. I mean,
yeah, that's very. I mean, it's true. It's sad because it's true because it's very. If you're watching this is happening, like we're older. I'm 30. We don't like to give away our ages, but Sarah's a little bit older than me.
I am not even.
Barely a year.
Like
Anyways,
10 months.
Okay, but if you have to like play games of is he texting me back or why isn't he texting like, and you're not in middle school.
Well, I like that.
Then or if you're looking for a real relationship, then like that's not the right person. And then what it came to is like she said, you got to look towards yourself, and we've heard this before. If you're playing these games too and you're going along, like you're better than that. You deserve better than that, and don't waste your time. Like if that's the emotional maturity level of someone you're dealing with, that you're playing text games and you're wondering what they're doing because they're not responding, and like the whole playing hard to get, like whatever, that there's some thrill in that when you're younger and the thrill of the chase and all that.
The whole Gumball thing is they thrive off of that intensity and that passion in the beginning, and once that fades away, then they fade away too. And that's kind of the general theme of their type of relationships. Yeah. And I mean, I'm always big on the, if he's not calling you, if he's not texting you, he's just not that into you. I know there's like a whole book and a whole movie on it, but... What's
that book and movie? He's not that into you.
He's just not that into you. But it's honestly, it's true. It's like, they go over every scenario. Like, if he's not calling you, if he's not dating you, if he doesn't want to marry you, he's just not that into you. There's,
Yeah. But that's hard,
right?
Yeah.
I don't
know. No. I think you spot on. But it's hard to hear that, and we don't want to trivialize some of, anyone watching this that may be going through that, because like we're emotional beings, and so we have this dopamine pumping through our system in our brain and giving us these reward systems of like that part of that is in playing that game, and you got to learn. I mean, it's okay you're not a bad person for getting wrapped up in it, but in the long run, when you're looking for a good relationship, it doesn't even have to be marriage, but just a fulfilling relationship with a significant other, or even in business and just with your family. Like that stuff shouldn't be going on, and then you need to move on. And in other episodes, we talk about how to find the right person, and we talked about it a little, but I think an important thing that we can take away from this video and from the episode with Melissa Ledger is that if these signs are happening, you need to seriously, and you're in a relationship, don't pull the plug right away, because you want to see if that person can change, but
change on their own
without you, like, you can facilitate, I think, a little bit.
Well, she's saying therapy, like
right, but
before therapy,
right. But if it's like this just constant thing, and like they kind of get better and then they're worse and better and worse, and you're like, oh, how many chances are you going to give them? Like, you're wasting your time, and life's too short to do that. Like, you deserve to have a good and healthy relationship and not have to deal with that, and more so, not dealing with that, and all the time you're spending doing that is time that you're wasting either not, in looking for the right person, or that person finding you, or being in that relationship and growing that. Sarah and I have been married 2 years, but together for nearly a decade, right? Like 8, right? And but I feel like we have so much more to improve. Not to say that it's not good, but that we can, and be more fulfilling in our relationship. And now we have a little girl, and to adding that to the equation has its struggles. It's definitely hard, but then it can put stress on the relationship, but then it can also add to it, and then so balancing that's important too. So Melissa Ledger, awesome guest, and
really cool.
Check out the episode leave us a review on iTunes. Check out the website, idopodcast.com. I do podcasts on iTunes, and leave some comments in the YouTube section here for maybe guest suggestions, questions you might have, stuff you'd like to see. Maybe thinking about doing kind of a few different formats in the podcast or formats in the videos. So right now we're just trying to get this stuff out there and help you improve your lives and your relationships.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
See you.
Bye.